You may think I'm already dressed, but I'm still wearing pajama bottoms, people! Hi guys! So I learnt something yesterday, and it's something that's been going on for a while, and if you can't tell by the title, I am of course going to be talking about people who say when you come out with having a mental illness, or maybe if you come out with an eating disorder, they say, oh, come and talk to me, you know I'm here for you and you can talk to me at any time. So since I've come out as a recovering anorexic, or having anorexia, I have had family, I have had friends, I've had people from uni, people I've met on the internet who've turned out to be really good friends, or acquaintances I haven't talked to in a while come up to me or message me and say, hey, look, I understand what you're doing and it's really brave and all of that, and you remember that I'm here and you can talk to me anytime you want, and that's really nice. And I don't have any problem with people coming up to me and, you know, or saying that to me, because that means a lot. It's just I have a lot of people now who want to, who say this stuff to me, and I feel like I need to use them, but I don't use them often enough. Maybe it's a privileged conundrum that I have so many people who want to support me, whereas maybe someone else doesn't have that support. It's just that I have too many people, and I wonder whether they actually mean it, or whether it's all a sugar-coated lie and they just don't know what to say, and so they say that instead. And it makes perfect sense, because people, it's a big shock to them, and if they don't understand it, if they haven't had perhaps mental illness in the family, or they haven't had a mental illness themselves but want to be empathetic towards you, then they sort of don't know what to do about it. And I always feel like people are always a bit awkward. Like when I was anorexic in school, when I was doing my GCSEs, I did want people to come up to me and say, you all right or you okay, but people didn't. People sort of didn't know what to do even at that time. They sort of just like, it felt like they pretended to ignore it, and so I didn't really have that support, or if I did, or the support I did have from family to try and get me better, I'd push it away to the side. I didn't want anything to do with it. And so it is a bit of a horrific conundrum. And it also does depend on the person with the eating disorder or the mental health problem. Remember, mental health is individual to you, therefore it's going to be different for everyone. Remember that point. As an anorexic now, I'm becoming a recovering anorexic, I find that people just wanna suddenly explode with all their love towards me, as if to say, look, use me, I'm here for you, I've always been here for you, you can use me and you can trust me. And that's been building up over the last few years now, since I started this channel, since I started talking about it on the internet and on Instagram, through my first post on Facebook about it when I was recovering in my first year. These people have sort of been going up and up and up, and I don't use them, or I just don't use them enough. And I only, at the moment, have gone to 3 people on the internet. Well, when I mean 3, I actually mean 2 people. Maybe actually 1. I actually have gone to 1 person on the internet, but I've met these 2 people. I've just dug myself into a hole. The people that I do use are my family, and the 2 people on the internet I use are my friend, Misha, just because I see her now all the time since I've been in London, and she kind of gets it and understands, which is sort of, I find it quite strange. And I use her, and I also use this other woman who I met through the Adam Hills Nottingham tour, when I took a picture of my onesie for her birthday, and we sort of started talking since then, and I do use her. I actively go and use her. But people from uni, or people from college, or family members, I just, unless they are my immediate family, my mum, dad, my brothers, I just, friends from choir, or just acquaintances I haven't seen in ages, I just don't use them. I just don't feel like I trust them enough to use them. And even though these are going to be people I see in my day-to-day life, maybe people, particularly people from uni, see them in my day-to-day life, I just don't feel like sometimes I trust them with such a big secret. Even though I just go, oh yeah, I talk about eating disorders and I'm a recovering anorexic on YouTube, I don't feel like I could actually go and sit down with them and say, hey, look, I'm having a really big struggle. It's easier for me to just type it out to someone that I've met through the internet and just do it through a direct message on Twitter. It's so much easier for me instead of just going around to every single person who has said something to me and just, or who said they want to talk to me, and just go through every single one of their feeds and talk to every single person. And also, I don't want to sometimes talk about it. But when I really need to, I don't want to talk about it. And it's not anorexia saying you don't need to talk to anyone. It's because I feel like I'm burdening people every time I talk to them. Because I may be really upset for a couple of days, and then if I'm upset for a couple of days and I talk to you the day before, will you still be there for me the day after? And I don't want to burden that person. I really don't. But also the big conundrum is, if I did go back, or if I'm having a massive anorexic attack, would you be there for me? Would you be there for me? Would you be at the phone? Would you message me on would you text me? Would you message me? Would you tweet me and ask me if everything's okay? Would you do that? Would you be there for me? And if not, and if you're not prepared, that's totally fine, because again, it's a very big thing to just try and get your heads around. And I'm not saying that people are stupid. I'm just saying that like mental health sometimes has just like these big connotations of really, people just like really confusing, because for the physical illness, obviously you can see it, with the mental illness you can't, and therefore people have to imagine what it could be like. But if you're not there for me, or if you're not ready to be there for me when I have a massive like attack of the anorexia, then it's okay, because I understand. I'm a very, I try to be a very empathetic and compassionate person, and I don't mind. The whole point of this video now is that if you're a recovering anorexic yourself, or if you have if you're an eating disorder recoverer, or you have been in the past, and if you've had lots of people wanting to support you and you don't use all of them, then that's totally fine, because then I suppose the luxury of that is that you pick and choose who you want, and that's great. And if you don't have that support, then you really don't. Also, you might have a mental health team. Remember, I kicked mine out ages ago. Not because I was well, because I hated them. But you might have a mental health team, and you might want to use them, and also pick and choose the friends. And also be really canny and clever. Like, which ones do you actually trust, and which ones do you actually want to talk to? Because chances are the ones that you really trust will be there for you when the attacks come. And they're not nice. We all know, maybe in this community, I assume that most of you might be like recovering anorexics, or people who have anorexia and they're thinking about recovering, and we all know that the anorexic attack is really nasty on us and can really be damaging. But if you are a person who doesn't know how to express your feelings to a friend who has anorexia, or a family member that has anorexia, and you don't know what to do, and the only thing that comes to your mind is that if there's anything I can do, or if you want to talk to me, just do. It's nice of you to say so, but don't feel like backlashed when they don't use you, because the idea is that we, as the person with the mental health illness, will pick and choose people that we trust. And it doesn't mean anything if we don't, it doesn't mean anything against you if we don't use you. Don't feel backlashed, don't feel like you've been put to the side. Just at least know. But also, you can do other things as well as like express sympathy and say other things like, oh, I'm so glad that, you're getting better. I'm so glad you're getting stronger and stuff like that. So just tell them that you're happy that they're getting better, happy that they're stronger. And of course, you're going to say, if you want support, I'll be with you all the way, but just don't be upset if it backfires on you and they don't use you. Because we pick and choose our battles. Sometimes we can't pick and choose our battles. Sometimes our body will just do what it wants. we pick and choose the people that we trust. And I have my family, I've got my friend Misha, and I have my other friend, Andrea. And they're people that I haven't been to uni with, don't go to college with, but they're people I just met and I just sort of trust. I hope this video was useful, I hope this video was helpful, and I really, really hope that you enjoyed it. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!